Alright guys, Gear Bear here again with another deck tech. And before anyone has a chance to say anything, I would just like to point out that I am doing a few videos all at once and I'm prepping them for scheduled uploads so that, I can have a little bit of a semblance of normal upload scheduling. It was a mouthful. But yeah, I'm not wearing the same shirt weeks in a row. So just a little peace of mind for you guys. Alright, what I have for you guys for another deck tech is Anafenza, the foremost, one of the cons that was released in Cons of Takare. Junk was my favorite color, still is probably my favorite color combination, and I was super excited. And then when I saw her, I was a little underwhelmed, and then I played her as a commander, and I was excited again. So Anafenza the foremost, she's a 3-drop 4/4, which is awesome because she's nice and cheap. Whenever she attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on another target tapped creature you control, so you probably won't see me playing Heliod in this deck. And if a creature card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So what did I do? I made a Tribal Humans Anafenza deck. Tribal Humans with Mass Reanimation. How beautiful is that? For our first human, we have Sarah's Ascendant. This is like an auto-include, right? It's a human, it's a 1-drop, it's usually a 6/6. This thing is absolutely fucking nuts with Anafenza. We have Containment Priest for our second slot. She does so many shenanigans. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. You just have to make sure that you don't have this in play or in your graveyard when you're going to use Mass Reanimation. So like if this is in your graveyard and you use Living Death, you don't get all of that stuff that just came back into play, which kind of sucks. Imposing Sovereign to keep some of the aggro down when against aggro players. I'm trying to talk, it's not coming out right. War Priest of Thune. This is a great little bit of disruption. The Grand Abolisher, of course, why not? Why wouldn't you? Absent Falconer, I love this card because there are +1/+1 counters aplenty in this deck. So each creature you control with the +1/+1 counter on it has flying. Anafenza likes to hand out +1/+1 counters like they're candy. Frontline Medic, awesome card, great battalion trigger, and people often forget about the being able to counter target spell with X in its mana cost unless its owner pays 3. That is really strong, people always forget about it. Ablation, some amazing removal. Archetype of Courage, an enchantment creature who's also a human and gives all of our stuff first strike and removes first strike from everyone else. Fiend Hunter, awesome removal, that is also a human. Mangara of Corindor. The way she is worded, you can actually exile and then bounce her, and she won't be exiled if you do it in response with her activated ability on the stack. Pretty sweet. Silverblade Paladin, a human that gives my humans double strike. What the fuck is not wrong with that? What the fuck is wrong with that? Nothing. Okay. Words, man. Words. I just noticed my light fell over. Might be able to see me a little better now. Ooh, you can. Okay. Where were we? Okay, Dragon Scale General. I tested this card out a couple times, and it is awesome. The Bolster X, where the X is the number of tapped creatures you control. Holy shit, does that really add up pretty fast. So this has to be answered pretty quick. I think I skipped this guy. Degator, the Adamant. Dagatar? I'm not exactly sure how to say that name, but he was our new legendary in Fate Reforged. Yeah, that's the one. He has Vigilance, so he doesn't play too well with Anafenza, but he enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it, pay 3 with a couple hybrid black-greens, move a +1/+1 counter from target creature onto a second target creature. Notice that this doesn't have the old school text. You can move those +1/+1 counters from the opponent's creatures right onto your creatures. You can use it to kill hydras pretty easily. Hero Blade Hold. Gotta love all of those tokens that you can make. Return to Dust, awesome removal. Elite Scale Guard. This is another Fate Reforged that I was pretty excited about. When it enters the battlefield, bolster 2. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. A really nice way to clear a path for your beaters. The Knight Captain of Eos. Cathar's Crusade is very obvious. Quite a few humans make tokens when they enter the battlefield, such as Knight Captain, Geist Honored Monk, Captain of the Watch, so on and so forth. Geist Honored Monk to make some tokens, some instant speed, mass removal, austere command. We usually can pick all creatures with converted mana cost 4 or greater, and we're usually pretty safe. Captain of the Watch, another obvious choice, makes tokens when she comes in as well. Sun Titan, one of the few non-humans that we have in here, but you seriously, with how cheap humans are, you can pretty much reanimate most of your humans. True Conviction is one of those cards that I see people drop way too early. Usually you drop this when you can win, or when you're very, very close to win. You don't really want to drop this if you only have 1 or 2 smaller creatures on board, but this is a win condition. Angel of Glory's Rise, one of the really, really fun cards in this deck. When it enters the battlefield, exile all zombies, fuck you tribal zombies, and return all human creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. How fucking strong is that? Demonic Tutor is just like playing a second copy of your favorite card. This was another card I was pretty excited for, but it's been pretty lackluster. But I really like the whenever another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. It would be a little bit too powerful if it was any non-token creature died, draw a card. Zathran Necromancer is a really good form of wrath protection in this deck. Whenever another human you control dies, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tapped. This thing is so powerful. Big Game Hunter, removal on a human. Phyrexian Arena for the draws and the lulls. Disciple of Bolas is a human that draws us a lot of cards. Increasing Ambition, because there are ways to accidentally mill in this deck, and this is nice tutor that you can cast from the graveyard. Living Death, because we really want to bring all of our humans back. Patriarch's Bidding, because we're playing Tribal and this card is fucking amazing. Hardened Scales, one of the best cards that I've seen printed in a long time. So good in the 1-drop slot. Survival of the Fittest, Sylvan Library, both hand. These are definitely both just. What am I looking for? These are both just value. Ooh, value, thought of it. Beast Within, awesome removal. Summerwald Sage. We play a lot of creatures in this one. 35 creatures, which is a lot. Champion of Lampholt. If this sticks, you win. There's just no question about it. This card is fucking amazing. Plus all the ways to add more counters to her. Yeah, if she sticks, you win. Eternal Witness. A human that grabs things out of the graveyard. Buffle. Yavimaya Elder. Another way to ramp. Master of the Wild Hunt. This guy totally feels like he should be an elf, but he is an amazing human. High Priest of Penance. This card, mixed with Master of the Wild Hunt, is dirty. If you can get 2 +1/+1 counters on High Priest of Penance, and you only have 1 untapped wolf, you can basically tap this guy to ping him and destroy a non-land permanent. Beautiful. Mortify. Beautiful, love that card. Sin Collector. Some nice hand disruption built into a human. Teysa, Orzhov Scion, really good sack outlet, plus there's enough recursion in this deck that you are going to get value out of her. Sorin, mostly we're going to be playing this guy for his -2. A anthem that you can't interact with is just absolutely amazing. Putrefy, we play a lot of spot removal because we don't really want to wrath our board too much. Safi Eric's Daughter, great card. Aura Shards, one of the best ways to remove a bunch of artifacts or enchantments that are bugging you without having to play a shitload of artifact or enchantment removal. Knight of the Reliquary, what a great card. This is going to grab up our utility lands, our Ulamogs, Cabal Coffers. I don't even know if I have Cabal Coffers in this, honestly. Dramoka, another one of the Fate Reforged cards. Also not a human, but as a 5-drop that pumps up everything else every time it attacks, it's pretty fucking amazing. Mirari's Wake, why wouldn't you have that in this color scheme and in this kind of deck? Privileged Position, we want to protect our assets as much as possible. Absent Ascendancy with Hardened Scales is just stupid. It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. It's also another form of wrath protection. Abzan Charm, too much value in here. Exiling a creature with power 3 or greater is really, really powerful. And then drawing the cards at instant speed is absolutely great. For artifacts, we have Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mesmeric Orb, and Door of Destinies. Mesmeric Orb, we really don't mind milling out ourselves, and when we're milling out other people with Anafenza on the board and they're exiling creatures, it is just nothing but value. It is insanely good. And Door of Destiny, we play enough small creatures that we can get counters built up on this pretty fast and just alpha swing for the fucking game. So yeah, this is Anafenza the Foremost. Comment, how would you guys play this one different? What would you guys do different? I always enjoy hearing different viewpoints on the commanders that I play. When I saw her, I just instantly thought human tribal. And maybe soldier tribal would be just as good because she's a soldier herself. But, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, do all that fun shit. Check me out as much as possible because I am awesome. Have a good one, guys.